Hey, David from Rivals, just talk about what Friday's going to bring, man. You didn't get to have SEC play last year. It'll be your first SEC game, along with all these young players. Are you excited, or is it just it's just the next game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to facing the SEC. Obviously, I didn't get that chance last year, like the whole team, but I think we're just going to take it one game at a time. Obviously, it's going to be a little different, facing Mississippi State on a Friday night, but I think we're going to stay composed and just really focus on that pitch, winning the innings. So
people talk about being in the zone and the baseball looks as big as a basketball sometimes, those kind of things. Is that kind of like what you're seeing at the plate right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the ball really well. I'm really not chasing pitches right now, and I'm able to recognize the off speed pretty early. So I think just, I just feel really comfortable in the box right now.
Cade, have you ever, I mean, you're obviously a really successful high school player. Have you ever had a run like this with 5 home runs in 4 games?
I cannot say I have done done stuff like this in my career up to now. So, I mean, hopefully I can just keep it rolling and keep contributing to help the team.
Kate, how much did your time away, give you a perspective or a look that maybe you're benefiting from now?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of rough going from, playing every day to sitting out a couple games, but I think it made me realize, to step back and enjoy the moment and really don't take any game for granted.
You didn't see anything differently that helped you like you were hitting right now, though, huh?
No, sir.
Okay, I mean, baseball's a game, obviously it's such a, day to day, you got to stay focused on that pitch, that at bat. You can't look up too far ahead or really look back and stay so even keel. But are you allowed yourself to like enjoy this run that you're on at all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess after the game, I can kind of, take a deep breath and think about, the at bats I had and, some things I should have done better. But I'm definitely appreciating, what I'm doing right now. But I mean, I'm not satisfied one bit. So I'm just gonna try to keep it rolling.
How would you describe Hayden Travinski as a hitter? We haven't really gotten to see it until recently, but obviously he's got quite a lot of power. How would you describe him?
I mean, if you just watch his BP, he's got some special talents with his swing. I mean, he's always competitive. Obviously, he's been a great pinch hitter for us, and today he got to start at catcher, and he really proved that he can hit these pitches. And obviously, you saw what he's capable of doing, and I'm really confident that he can continue to do that throughout the year.
What do you think? You had a limited look at you didn't get to see SEC pitching last year. What are your thoughts with Mississippi State coming to town and kind of the competition you've faced so far, preparing you for this moment?
Yeah, I mean, we're all excited. Obviously, Friday night playing Mississippi State's going to be different for me, but we're just really excited, and we're just going to take it day by day and inning by inning.
All right, any more questions for Cade? One last one.
I've got one real quick if I could. AJ said the other day that the relief pitcher seemed a little bit frustrated after the way that weekend went. Did you see tonight, being much better? Did you see them like post game, maybe feeling a little bit more confident, a little bit more relieved?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, obviously, this weekend they didn't, due to their capabilities. But I mean, I don't think anybody was really down on themselves. I mean, we know how to get the job done, and they know what they need to do. So I mean, I don't think there's much of a difference because they're all great players and they know what they need to do. So I wouldn't say there's a big difference. Obviously, they did great tonight, but we expect that. And I know some games it might not go the way we planned, but hopefully the bats can pick them up and they can pick us up at some times.
All right, thank y'all.
Hey, how good did it just feel to be back out there, man, and catching and doing what you do?
It's pretty unexplainable. I mean, not being able to really get into catching throughout the start of last year, and then some injuries and stuff. I was really antsy throughout the entire day today. I just knew that I was like, yeah, this is my first collegiate start behind the dish. So it was fun to get out there and showcase what I can do a little bit.
Where are you percent wise? Do you feel like I can let it rip, when I need to throw in behind the plate? Like what would you say you're 100% or close?
Yeah, I mean, my arm feels really good. I think at this point, it's just kind of building it up and getting the reps back because I mean, I've missed a little bit of time. But yeah, I mean, it's feeling really, really good.
My last question, how patient do you have to be and how frustrating is it where I can't maybe go all out because you don't want to rush it and you want to try to take your time?
Oh, definitely. I mean, throughout the entire season, it's just been patience is definitely a virtue to have, especially in this sport. You're going to go through tough times, injuries, and all that. And with as many injuries as I've been through, it's been more of a learning moment in terms of doing the right things leading up in preparation, and then doing stuff in post, taking care of your body. And so, I think I rambled a little bit there. I got a little bit off track, but yeah.
Hey Hayden, this is Glenn West with LSU Country. Nice to meet you, man. Just kind of talk about, obviously you get the start tonight, but where do you go from here? I mean, I know Coach Maneri was just telling us, you're going to wait to see how you feel tomorrow. But do you feel like you can go 9 innings in a game? Because obviously you mean a lot to this rotation right now in terms of what you're doing with the bats. There's just really not a whole lot of other outside sources for you to get those at bats if you're not behind the plate.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, I don't have any issues with it. So I think, again, it's just kind of building it up. I can definitely go a 9 if needed. I mean, we'll get to that point, definitely. But my body's feeling good, arm's feeling good, and definitely just got to keep building on it.
Aiden, when did the arm injury happen?
I think it was over break back home. We had thought it was some tendonitis at one point. But it had been a month into that and it hadn't gone away. So we got some imaging done. And I want to say it was a few scrimmages before we got going. So it was definitely a hard blow to deal with. But like I said, I think patience is very important. It's a life skill to be learned. So just applying that and not getting frustrated with not being out there.
When you say a few scrimmages, were you talking about like fall or this preseason back in January?
Spring. Yeah, spring.
Okay.
Sorry. Good. All right. I mean, how difficult has it been? Just kind of how flexible it is with the at bats. I mean, you'll come in and pinch hit one game and maybe not see it for another game or two. I mean, just how difficult has that been to only maybe get one at bat every once in a while as opposed to being consistently in the rotation and getting those at bats every day.
I think it's it's one of the hardest. You're doing one of the hardest things to do in sports while sitting there for potentially 4 hours. So it's definitely difficult. I was sort of in the same role time to time last year in between some DH starts. So I think I had a little bit better insight on what I needed to do, the mindset I needed to have. And throughout the season this year, I felt like I've put together a good string of at bats that have really carried over. So
you mentioned that mindset. I mean, does that change at all? I mean, just talk about the mindset, I guess getting that one at bat a game as opposed to maybe getting 3 or 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the time it's definitely in late game situations. So depending on, you can't just come off the bench and not swing. You know what I mean? There's got to be some aggression behind it. And I think that's definitely carried on to an at bat to at bat mentality. I mean, even if I'm getting 4 at bats, it's forget about the last one and move on to the next one. I think that's been one of the biggest learning points from the pinch hitting situation, at least.
And just real quick, Hayden, when did you actually find out you were going to start at catcher today?
Yesterday. Yeah, so I've been antsy since last night, but it's good to get it out of the way.
Any trouble sleeping or anything, or were you able to at least handle that?
Nah, that was fine. That was no big deal, but
thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all can start with questions for Ty.
Hey, Ty, this is our first chance to get to speak with you. So I'm Wilson from The Advocate. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
What for starters, can you take us through that situation in the 7th? That was kind of the last time Southeastern had a chance to maybe tie the game, and you got those 2 big strikeouts. What was kind of going through your mind when they get runners in scoring position there with 1 out?
I think the biggest thing is just to finish the inning without. That's the biggest thing AD says. He says if you give up 1, make sure you don't give up 2. And he just emphasis of keeping the runs limited, try not to let the next run score. That's the biggest thing for us. And that was the biggest thing tonight, how I'm glad I was able to get that last guy out because it was a close game. It was getting close.
You don't seem to show too much emotion when you pitch and have a big, out like that. But what was going through kind of your head, when he swings through it?
I mean, yeah, I've never been the guy that shows a lot of emotion. I was definitely inside. I was definitely glad. I was like, okay, good. You didn't allow another run to score. That's good. But no, I was excited for it. I was really glad. I know a lot of people say that I'm not a very emotional guy on the bump, but inside I am.
And then what was it like for y'all as a bullpen after you do that? Devin pitches a clean 8th. Garrett pitches a clean 9th. Was it a sort of maybe a confidence building sort of game going into SEC play to have that after what happened this past weekend?
Oh yeah, that was a huge part of that was a great thing tonight because I know last weekend, especially, I know we won them last 2 games, but those games shouldn't have been like that. We should have stuck what AD says, stick it in their throat. Apparently, stick the cleat down. But tonight was a good day. I mean, I think definitely helped boost our confidence going into this weekend against Mississippi State.
What was the mood amongst y'all as a bullpen after that game Sunday, after it kind of happened, a couple days in a row?
It was definitely, I mean, of course we were all happy. We ended up winning, but we all knew that should not have happened. That we had to be better than that because when SEC play, that doesn't play. Teams are too good to, a lot of teams are able to finish us off by then.
Did y'all do anything different over the last 2 days or kind of stick with your same routine?
I think we had a different mental approach to it. I think because after our win Sunday, Coach AD talked to all of us and was like speaking to us and telling us that we had to be better as a team. We shouldn't be walking this many people. We shouldn't be getting this behind in counts, that we have to do better as a staff if we want to be able to succeed in SEC play. So I think today, while we had more focus in the bullpen, I think we were able to stay maintained and focused on throwing strikes and getting the batter out. And if you do allow a runner to get on, don't allow them to score. That was the biggest focus on this today, especially.
Any more questions for Ty? Thank y'all.
Thank you, Ty.
Wilson was running that show. Good job, Dub. Yeah.
Wilson was the only one who asked for him.
And he delivered. Good job, Will.